Welcome to Football with Cheese. So what I've been doing in May, and we'll go through June as well, is the top 5 offseason moves for every team and letting you guys decide in the comments which move will have the most impact on the upcoming season. I'm doing the NFC South currently. I already released the Saints video. Look out on Wednesday for the Buccaneers, and then Thursday it'll be the Panthers, and Friday we'll finish with the Falcons. And then next week I'll do the AFC South. And this video is all about Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I will do the top 5 Steelers video in a couple weeks, so look out for that. But first, before we talk about Rodgers, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notification so you never miss one of my videos. I've been thinking about this really even before Rodgers announced he was coming back. I think we all knew he was. I was like 95% chance thought he was. Maybe 5% he walks away, but he loves football. He's a competitor, and they wanted him back, and obviously he wants to keep playing. But I have some strong thoughts on it, and I really want Steelers fans to let me know in the comments. Most Steelers fans are really, really smart. I know a lot of them. They have a national fan base. There are still a few that think they should be in the Super Bowl every year, and that's just not possible. Even the Brady Belichick era went, I think, 10 years at one point without winning a title. Someone in the comments can check me on that. But most Steelers fans are smart, so I really want to hear from you guys on this because I love Aaron Rodgers. I just want to say that, first of all. I am a Green Bay Packer fan. I think he's one of the best ever. I think the best 5 seasons he had, peak Aaron Rodgers, was the best 5-year stretch of any quarterback in NFL history. Is he the best ever? Maybe. I definitely think he's one of the best 5 ever, but peak Aaron Rodgers was insane. However, we're not getting that anymore. Now, what is Aaron Rodgers now? He is still an efficient quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback. He's definitely top 20, but I think he's borderline top 15. He just can't move like he used to. One of the best things about Rodgers is his pocket awareness, his mobility, when to move. Like, so many quarterbacks are really mobile, even more mobile than Rodgers, but they either leave too late or leave too soon and take away a chance for a big play. Rodgers had this unbelievable feel when to leave the pocket, extend the play, and his ball placement was insane. One of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history, maybe the most accurate. But obviously he's older. He had the Achilles injury in New York. He just can't move like he used to. He still has a very good arm. He can still sling it. But obviously his play has dropped off. He's coming off of 2 good, not great years. And his career with the Jets started bad. He tore his Achilles, missed the whole year. Then he got off to a bad start. When they traded for Davante Adams, he kind of found it again and played really well down the stretch. They were already out of it. So the Steelers thought, okay, we'll get that guy. We'll get the second half of the season, 2024 Jets guy. And then he goes to Pittsburgh. And once again, one of the best things about Rodgers is his ball placement. And he needs receivers that are good after the catch because he can put it on their hands on the run. If they're good at securing it quickly, if they're good after the catch, then your offense will be unbelievable. And the Steelers didn't have anyone, tight ends or receivers, that were good after the catch. They tried to make DK Metcalf that guy, but he's a down-the-field side speed guy. So they traded for Michael Pittman. He's not that guy either. They didn't upgrade at tight end. It's a deep group, but they don't have that real athletic after-the-catch guy. They did draft Jeremy Bernard. I like that pick. He is that style player, but he is a rookie. I like the Max Iheanacho pick in the first round. I know some fans are upset they didn't get Mekhi Lemon. I think for this year, it'll hurt Pittsburgh not having Lemon, but long-term, I think they'll be better off having Iheanacho. I think his upside is tremendous. We here at Football with Cheese had him as the best tackle in the draft. But Aaron Rodgers, once again, he's good. He's not great. He's above average at worst. Can't move like he used to, can still sling it, still won't throw a lot of receptions, he never has. However, I think it was a huge mistake for the Steelers to go after him last year and go after him this year. One quote that made me want to make this video was Aaron Rodgers said, "I think we were close last year." You weren't. I know you won the division, I know you won 10 games, but we saw what happened in the playoffs. You were not close. You were not going to win 4 straight games in the postseason against some really good teams. It just was not going to happen. And the same reason the Jets signed Aaron Rodgers as the Steelers is that we have a great defense. We have a dominant defense. We just need a quarterback that can be efficient, can make plays on third down, and not throw interceptions. However, what happened in New York? The defense collapsed. It was terrible. And so it did not work out. Same thing in Pittsburgh. The defense collapsed last year. For whatever reason, I'm not going to get into it. TJ Watt's injury certainly hurt. But they need to play elite defense. Aaron Rodgers is not a guy who can throw 40 touchdowns anymore. He's not a guy that can put the team on his back and just win you 12 games. He's not the guy that can just win you 4 straight games in the postseason. He's not. He used to be that guy, but he's not. So they need a dominant defense. It should be a very good secondary, a deep secondary. You have Jamal Dean, you have Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., they got Jaquan Brisker, and they should have good pass rush. They need the front 7 to stay healthy. But at the same time, I just don't see a top 5 defense anymore. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll bounce back, but they're going to have to. And I just don't think the Steelers were close. I think they are a 9-10 win team again, at best. Mike Tomlin, it was probably time to move on years ago. I think he's a very good coach. I know it was pretty mixed among Steelers fans. That about half of them wanted to keep him, the other half wanted to fire him. Probably should have let him go a few years back just to get a new voice in the locker room. Sometimes you just need a change. He had been there for so long, won a Super Bowl, but had not been back in, 14, 15 years. So maybe it was just time for a change a couple of years ago. But they replaced him with Mike McCarthy. Okay, maybe it's a good fit with Aaron Rodgers. He knows the offense. But Mike McCarthy is not a good coach. I hate to tell you, Steelers fans, he's pretty terrible. He won only one Super Bowl with so many talented rosters. There was a 3 or 4 year stretch where Green Bay had the best roster in the NFL. He won one Super Bowl. He's always played with either Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, or Dak Prescott. He's constantly getting out-coached in the postseason. He's just a pretty terrible coach. So you've downgraded head coach. You may have improved the roster. Probably did. Secondary and offensive lines probably better. But I just don't see winning more games than 10. I don't see a team that can make a playoff run. I hope I'm wrong, Steelers fans. And you got to believe the Bengals and the Ravens are going to be better. The Bengals won 6 games last year. They're going to be better than that, especially if Burrow plays every game. Ravens bound to be better than 8 and 9. They underachieved last year. So the division should be tougher. Right now, I don't think they're going to win the division. Once again, I hope I'm wrong. It's one of those situations, and my Green Bay Packers are in that too. Kind of like, if this goes right, and this goes right, and this goes right, and this goes right, then, and only then, we can be a contender. If the rookies play well, Jeremy Bernard and Max Iheanacho, if Aaron Rodgers still plays well, if he doesn't have a drop-off, if the defense doesn't collapse again, if TJ Watt stays healthy, there's just all these ifs. If Mike McCarthy coaches well, probably not. There's all these ifs. If, and then and only then, maybe they can be a contender. I'm going to say this now. I think Pittsburgh Steelers would have been better off just running with Will Howard last year, going with Will Howard or Drew Aller this year. Drew Aller. Okay, not Drew Aller, but Will Howard. Maybe doing a retool, not a rebuild, not a 4 or 5 year rebuild, just a retool, pick higher in the draft, go for a quarterback next year in the 2027 draft. I know the veterans like Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, Jalen Ramsey would not have liked that, but they're in a situation where they never pick high, and they're stuck using a 3rd round pick on a Drew Aller, who has a very, very slim chance of working out. They took a shot in the 3rd round, I get it, but I once again see a team that's probably a 9 or 10 win team that will not get one of the best quarterbacks in next year's draft. It could be an amazing quarterback class. So yes, they are definitely a team that can win the division. They're definitely a team that can make the playoffs. However, I don't think they're a true contender. And I just think they hurt their long-term future by going for it these last 2 years with Aaron Rodgers, who's past his prime, who's not great anymore. He's just good, maybe above average, and trying to pick high in the draft, trying to pick in the top 10, maybe trading down, getting more picks. They didn't do any of that. So let me know in the comments, Steelers fans. Do you agree with me? Do you think it was a mistake to get Aaron Rodgers? Obviously, if everything works out and they win the Super Bowl this year, probably not, but you never know. Then I'm wrong, and you guys can come back to this video and just trash me. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Me and Mike, we do the Lights Out podcast. It's tonight, which is Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link in the description. Share this with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams on this channel, and I have a lot of friends, once again, are Steelers fans, so I will make a lot of Steelers videos. There's always something going on in Pittsburgh. Check out these videos if you have not on the screen, and I will see you guys in the next one.